What's up, guys? Greetings from Houston, Texas. Mike coming at you from AT Astro, Error, Truth, Aspect, and Relationship Astrology. And let's talk about the vertex today. People actually discuss it quite often, and it is a point of contention amongst many astrologers. Some astrologers don't even use it at all. I've been using it for quite some time, and I consider it a very important point to look at, but you have to exercise discretion with how you use it, because often it can point to things, or it can lead somebody to believe certain things that just aren't true. So the vertex is a mathematical point that is drawn up in an individual's natal chart, and it almost always falls in either the 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th house, which all with the exception of the 6th have to do with relationships. 2 of those houses being on the southern half of the wheel, so those are 2 houses that are associated with the self, and then 2 houses, the 7th and the 8th, that are houses associated with the other partners, mostly. But the vertex is considered to be the point of fated encounters. There is a connection that's been drawn between the vertex and soulmate connections. And when you're looking at the vertex in your chart, you find out what sign it falls into and what house it falls into, and you sort of get a grasp of the energies of those particular sign in the house. So let's say, for instance, my vertex is at 1 degree Scorpio in the 6th house. So my fated encounter, my soulmate, is going to have qualities that are expressed by the 6th house in Scorpio. So we're looking at people that have water traits and people that have Virgo traits, generally. Also, on top of that, when you look at a vertex in synastry, many times people will see contacts between the vertex and another person's personal planets, and they'll get it in their head that it's a soulmate attraction. And many times you can have vertex connections in synastry and it won't pan out into anything significant. Like, for instance, I don't know, my cousin's moon falls on top of my vertex. Is he my soulmate? Hell the fuck no. You actually only want to use it in synastry to almost like a point of confirmation and hindsight. Also, natal transits, transits in the natal chart to the vertex rarely point to anything significant. However, the vertex in the progress chart, making aspects to other planets, love planets, can definitely point out to something very significant. For instance, somebody's moon making an inconjunct aspect, and I've discussed inconjunct aspects before, to the vertex, can create a certain type of energy where that person's in the right state of mind at the moment to attract their fated encounter. And let's say a planet hits the vertex while it's making an inconjunct aspect, or it hits the moon while it's making an inconjunct aspect to the vertex. That can very easily point to somebody coming into your life that's going to change you in some way. And also, another thing about the vertex, it's usually a person that comes into your life that you don't realize right off the bat that person's going to be significant. They end up becoming significant over time. It's kind of like, 3 years down the road, this person, you're like, wow, I really like you. I'm glad that I'm glad that I met you. It's interesting. It's really interesting to see, because many times those vertex contacts, it's not like that heart pounding. That person came in the room and I was like, oh my God, I must have you. No, it doesn't work out like that, because sometimes the best relationships don't come around as a result of, love at first sight. They come after you've, really learned that person over a long period of time. So the vertex is iffy at best, but if you learn to look at it in the right context, it can be very telling. So I hope this was helpful. I do offer consultations. Just feel free to message me, get a hold of me somehow, and we will work it out. And till next time, guys.